Hello, welcome LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and the ever wonderful Twitch. My name is Frank Lavinia, and I am a data and AI architect, podcaster, vlogger, blogger. Generally, I like to think of an all-around nice guy, but I suppose that's rather subjective. Today, I want to talk about something that I'm rather proud of. And that I am doing consistently to have an increased impact on my career and generally my life. So with that, let me roll the fancy graphics for High Impact Tuesday. All right, so just want to show this off. Let me see if I can minimize myself, maximize this. This here is Pluralsight, and I'm a big fan of Pluralsight. I think that they do some awesome work in terms of providing great content. I actually just finished another class with Amazon Alexa. Although that's not it. That's what I'm currently learning. So I know what I'm doing immediately after this. But one of the things I want to show is, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this. My Instagram is either pictures of dogs, stupid memes, archery shots, or I've been very conscious about posting kind of, number of days I've broken my streak here on Pluralsight. And I do this because, one, I think it's brilliant because it really gamifies the whole experience of learning, right? They do a whole bunch of other stuff with badges and stuff like that. Let me see if I can narrow this so my interface is what you see. But I've been doing this now consecutively for 111 days. And what's cool is you can kind of go back and see. It also changes kind of the hours you watch that month and stuff like that. But you'll see here, I mean, actually, I first got access to Pluralsight on this account in May. And you can see I've been, this is my longest streak now. It started October 8th, 2020. And I've basically learned every day, even Christmas, even New Year's, even Thanksgiving. I'll be honest, not every day do I do a full hour marathon or a 4-hour marathon. Happens from time to time, but I don't do it. And I like this because I can kind of look back and remind myself what I'm doing. I also post it to my Instagram because that keeps me accountable. At least I feel it keeps me accountable. And if you look, I've kind of made it so every third post has been, so I have that nice little column there, going back a while now. So for me, that keeps me honest. And by even telling you here, that gives me a little more accountability. That's the word I'm looking for. After I record this stream, I am going to go upstairs, get myself a big old cup of warm coffee because it snowed here. It's cold. It's actually kind of cold here in my office. Usually in the winter, it kind of warms up, but not today. But what's cool is, there's all sorts of, I have a trophy case. Let's see what my trophy case is. Right. So recently on that sort of thing. It's silly. It sounds silly, but I mean, for me, it's like I see that number and I'm like, you know what? I can just put 5 minutes. And you know what usually happens? 5 minutes becomes 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And over the course of a year, that adds up. Just 15 minutes a day. I mean, that's it's just assuming a work day because that makes the math easy. I mean, that's like an hour and 15 minutes every week. And that adds up. That adds up significantly. And if you look at my certification list on LinkedIn, Some of these are from here, some of these are from other tests, but I really have committed myself to lifelong learning in that regard. So um, this is a field. The technology field is a field where you have to constantly be learning. There's no you can't just to say I got my degree or I passed my boot camp or whatever, and that's it. Don't need to use this anymore. It doesn't work that way. And maybe at one time it did. I doubt it. Certainly not in my lifetime. But I really like this. What's really funny is the visualization. I don't think I looked at one course on Photoshop. There's other Adobe tools that I did look at, like After Effects and stuff like that. So algorithmics. Okay, that's true. I remember doing that one. And After Effects. Okay, that's true. I don't remember the Photoshop one. That's weird. I wonder how it tracks that, because it's got to be by tags, but that seems too specific. For the last few months, honestly, this has really been about data engineering, kind of taking my role. I'm an architect at the MTC, and the data and AI architect, which lumping those two together makes sense. But in terms of the ability to specialize, that's a hard role to specialize. But so when I took the role, I committed to really learning, just going crazy on just learning, getting, skilled up on that. So how many hours am I? 6 hours and 18 minutes in January, 12 hours. I'm slacking. I think 12 hours is my record. Part of this too, and I'll be bluntly honest, is, at the end of the year, end of the fiscal year, when I have to justify kind of paying for the subscription again, I have the numbers now, which is probably the real reason why Pluralsight put this together. And every time I post this on Instagram, I tag Pluralsight. So no one's reached out to me yet saying congrats, but let's see what happens when I get 200 days, or even better, 365 days. Let's see what happens then. There's a number of good authors here. Unfortunately, Scott Allen has passed away. That's sad. This guy, Sahil Malik. Sahil Malik is the man. He's a local DMV guy, and super smart guy. And he's got a lot of good courses. Wow, he's got some new courses too. One of these I remember watching. I think it was this one. No, it wasn't the authentication. Yeah, this one. This was awesome. I took this one. I even pinged him and I was like, that is the best class. And he's like, you know what? You need to promote that. So about a few weeks too late. Sorry, Christmas got in the way. But definitely check this out. He's got a lot of good stuff. He is a super smart guy. I'd love to have Sahil, if you're watching, I'd love to have you on the live stream and/or podcast, because he's a multi-trick pony here. He's got artificial intelligence chops. He definitely has SharePoint chops, identity chops. This one I ought to watch. So I haven't watched all of his classes, but I've watched a lot of them. Yeah, he's been doing this for a while. I mean, this is 11 years ago. .NET Reflector. Sahil's awesome. I remember when I was running the Richmond.NET user group, he was he came down from I think he lived in Maryland at the time. Came down and presented. Awesome talk. Another presenter I like. Let me see all the different authors following. Vishwas Lele. He's an awesome guy. I used to work with him many moons ago at AIS, and he's brilliant. He is one of the smartest, nicest people I know. Like, seriously, like super smart, super humble. Let's see, who else am I following? Chuck Bates. His stuff was good. Tim Radney. I met him in person actually at a SQL Saturday in Pittsburgh. And he did a data point with me. So he's been on the show. Chuck Bates. Yes, Chuck Bates. If you're in for a really good quantum computer talk, this was good. I remember this one. Fortunately, there's only 2, I think, on quantum computers. There's not a lot, although let me take that back. If I actually do a search for quantum computing, one of the things that comes up isn't just the courses, but also the you can't see my hand, but I am pointing at this here. The materials here in oh, that's new. That was a read. I read that one. The conference material that's related to that topic that you search. So I don't get paid by Pluralsight. Hey, if you want to sponsor the live stream of the podcast, call me. Their content is awesome. Let's see. Another service I'm a big fan of is LinkedIn Learning. They don't have the gamification, so I don't quite as follow that as much. But there's a lot of good courses here. They're really branching out. If you notice here, I mean, there's ones on public speaking, business processes. I'm impressed. Cultivating a growth mindset. So it's not just about technology. I kind of like that. I kind of like building out the soft skills too. Obviously, there's some sales courses, but I mean, not like Grant Cardone or Jordan Belfort type stuff. But it's good. It's good. I mean, and that's what's great about technology. It's so easy to get plugged into all these things. And if that's not your bag, I mean, both of these are for paid services. YouTube has a lot of stuff. I already mentioned Jonathan Wood. Let's see. So my site's getting too popular. I'm actually busting at the seams with my current hosting plan. So I'm going to have to start seriously working on the revenue side of things, because most of the ads on this are kind of mine. Couple of blog posts today that I think are going to have good impact. This guy used to work at Microsoft. He now is a full-time YouTuber, if you can believe that. Top 10. He always posts a lot of modern workplace type tips and tricks with Teams and OneDrive. Everything the guys at Guy in the Cube do is outstanding. I blogged those stuff multiple times. This is also pretty interesting too. Olivier Bloch, he's an awesome dude. I actually messaged with him a couple of days ago to help me out with something. But we worked like Twitter fans of each other for the longest time, and I actually met him almost a year ago at one of the last major conferences I was at. Was an internal training conference that Microsoft does. Last physical conference I was at. And he was there, and I was like, dude, we're finally in the same town, so in the same place at the same time. So I stopped by. He was at the IoT booth. It was fun. It's always fun meeting people in person. And I suspect eventually we'll get back to that. Hopefully. Someone pointed out the other day, this logo looks a little too much like the coronavirus. Now that I can't unsee that. But these videos are great. The IoT show, his stuff is always fun. And the cool thing is, in this one, this is Mike Hall. Mike Hall has been in the embedded game for a while. Super smart guy. Again, I might have to have him on this. I first met him at the Mobile and Embedded Developer Conference in 2006. That was my first trip to Vegas. And that was a fun conference. A year later, fun fact, was my first time I spoke at a major national international conference was at MEDC 2007. I spoke on ink analysis, which is basically kind of with the tablet PC handwriting recognition neural network stuff. Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun conference. They don't quite have it anymore, but not just because Corona, but yeah, the embedded in world has changed. It's really gone from kind of just embedded compute to being kind of smart tech connected and with IoT and stuff like that. Yeah, so when I saw Olivia was talking to Mike, I was like, oh, I got to definitely do that. And the funny thing is, right, I was in Redmond a few years ago. We were just walking from one building to the other, and I recognized somebody sitting at their desk out of the corner of my eye, and then I saw the nameplate was Mike Hall. So I hadn't seen him, and he barely kind of remembered me, but it was 9 years later. So that was cool. Small world we live in. And create a Discord bot. I've already queued up posts for tomorrow. So there's a really awesome quantum computing talk that is going to, it was on YouTube. I posted, it'll be online shortly after midnight. So yep. As you can tell, I blog quite a bit. Let me know in the comments if you want me to know kind of my secret sauce for blogging so much. But with that, I'm going to get myself a big old steaming cup of coffee and maybe watch some training courses. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So with that, I want to thank you for watching. Remember, when Monday kind of punches you in the face, Tuesday's your day to get back up and still have high impact. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if there's something you want me to discuss or take a deeper dive into. And you have a fantastic day.